everyone. Your designers are here.
I'm Anita with Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home. And we have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started. Today's episode 79, and we are talking about easy fixes for window treatments. And I think window treatments can be sort of challenging. So you're going to get a lot of great advice and tips today. So let's get started with the easy fix window treatments. I know Yvonne is chomping at the bit.
Oh, well, she is our easy fix queen.
For the window
She has
treatments.
a lot of crowns, I just want to say.
And yes, she does. The queen of most everything, really.
Well, thank you. Let's hope I have lots of crowns. I
have a secret confession easy fix window.
What? Now, wait a minute. Is
treatment.
this like Yvonne's secret about the curtains where the one behind the bed doesn't really go all the
short.
way to the
No,
floor?
I think it's way worse. But
is it?
Oh,
yeah,
it
I think
can't
it's
be
way
worse than that.
Let's
hold on. Let me get
Yvonne,
comfortable so I can hear this one.
Okay.
Well, I want Yvonne to start out, and I'll tell you when I'm comfortable to
Oh.
tell you my secret, my confession. I will tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to say, and I am the queen of window treatments because for some reason, one of my bedrooms, I think I have the measurement right. I've just got to go remeasure. It seems like I always get window treatments that are too short. And then I'm like finagling them, like, how am I going to do that? And I always say, if worse comes to worse, I can make pillows out of them. So I have so many blue and white pillows now. I don't know what to do with them. I know.
Well, and Yvonne, that is a problem because if you have tall ceilings, most of the curtains are made for homes with 8-foot ceilings. So if you have a room of a 10-foot ceiling, you're going to have a hard time finding pre-made window curtains that are the right length.
Right. Well,
okay, can I give a little tip here that is appropriate for this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I haven't taken my own good advice, but I have considered doing this because I cannot tell you how many times I've been in the aisle in Home Goods or someplace and I'm getting all sweaty because I'm seeing these great window treatments. And I'm like, because I really need window treatments for so many windows in my house. And I'm like, oh, was it 96? Was it 84?
I know.
How can do I need 4 to make it full? So how about this? If you're in the market and there are some windows that need some help, take the measurements, type them out to yourself in a note or in an email to yourself or something, then take a picture of it and just have it on your phone.
That is so good. I use
go.
Evernote. I use Evernote on my phone. That's a great thing to do.
Then you can just refer to it. I do this for my clients. Why I don't do it for myself, I don't know.
Yes.
Well, and I just went to the fabric store. I was at Calico Corners, and instead of writing everything down, I was just taking pictures of
smart.
The fabrics that I was interested
Oh,
in.
yeah,
and then
yeah.
It's just so much faster
smart.
than writing all of that.
Oh, yeah.
You were so
especially
right.
when
That's a
you're trying
great
to
idea.
describe
And
a
then
fabric to yourself.
Keep that measuring tape or in your purse too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Go nowhere
you
without
never
your tape.
know when
And
you're
we've
going to need
talked about that before, like what was in our purse. And that was one
Well,
thing
Kelly
that was
needs
in
it when
all
she's
of our
walking.
purses.
She needs it when she's walking down the street. She
You
just
just never
texted me
know.
a picture of a mirror she found. Like it was a gorgeous mirror.
Excuse me, I didn't get that text.
Oh, I mean,
Excuse
Kelly
me.
and Anita.
I think you might have.
I don't know. You know what? I don't think it was from Kelly.
Oh, yeah, like I hear you. Now, if one gets a text, we all get a text. You know how that goes.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
I'm gonna check to see if that
I
was you.
misspoke.
Okay, I'm going to start. And we're this started out actually to be rental friendly window treatments, but the ideas were so great. We thought, hey, we just didn't want people renting to listen to it. We wanted everybody to listen to it. So we came up with easy fix window treatments. And I'm going to talk about command hooks. They're in my toolbox. I have every one they probably have, and I use them liberally around my house. It's an option to drilling, and you don't have to drill into your wall. I'm not great with the drill, and when I do drill, I end up making a lot of mistakes, and my poor husband, fixes them.
So Yvonne, I had a question about this.
Yeah.
So I saw that there were some metal command hooks. Do you have any of those?
No,
Specifically for curtain rods.
Oh,
So I was going to ask
Since when? I think I'm up on the whole command line.
Well, I read
they have
this,
clear
but
ones, heavy duty.
Wait, she missed the
jumbo,
text and
outdoor.
she doesn't know about this.
This is
Get out from under the rock.
I'm falling behind today. I did say that I couldn't find my wallet this morning, which has never happened in my whole life. I had all these things happening all at once. I had painters here and I have my assistant here and I've got things going on and I can't find my wallet and I need my wallet and I've got people calling me for appointments and the doorknob came off in my hand. So it's been one of those mornings.
well, my credit card is often missing, but I usually
That's
know
so
where to
interesting.
find it.
My credit card might go off with yours.
Well, you know
Mine
what?
is often
Yes.
missing.
In
Yes,
your
I think-
house, Anita, there's only one person that would be a suspect.
Yes.
And in your house, Kelly, you have two.
I have two, but actually only one. One
Oh.
is definitely bolder than the other.
The one
Oh.
whose name is at the begins with the
Beginning
letter at
of
the
the
beginning of the alphabet. Okay.
All
But
right.
anyway, I didn't know there were command hooks for curtain rods.
Well,
I
this is what I've read, but I'm not a command hook girl. So
Okay, I
don't-
know there's heavy duty.
But, okay,
Okay,
so
you
I-
know you have a good podcast when the tips help the hosts.
Okay, but now here's my question though, because now I read this that it's good for window treatments because
Mhm.
I just drill into the wall. But now, what's the deal? Are these really strong enough to hold?
They
a
are
curtain
so
rod?
wonderful. Well, you know, you
Really?
can't, I think they go over 7 pounds. So, you know, if you had two of them, it'd be 14 pounds. You could probably put like a medium to lighter curtain rod in some light curtains and it would be fine.
Because even my tension rod in the bathroom, I had a nice. It was a deck. It was very pretty. It was kind of
Mhm.
a fancy curtain, so it was a little bit heavier because it had two pieces to it, and then I had the liner on there. That thing will not stay up.
Yeah, well, with command hooks? Or
No, well, it's a tension rod, which we'll get to.
Oh, well, you know what? I would try. I mean, I give a big shout out to them. I use them for pictures. I've even hung mirrors with them. And I
Really?
have,
Okay.
not a huge big mirror, believe
Okay.
me, but I really trust them. Now,
Okay.
that's my house. You know, there's not a lot of humidity in my house, but I've
Okay.
never had
Well,
a
this
problem.
explains that I really have trust issues, so that's probably why I've never gone with command strips.
Hey,
That's what
I'm
I've heard.
beginning to have trust issues because I wasn't in the loop of the text.
Oh my
no.
goodness! Okay,
I'm
all
sending
right.
I have my phone right next to me. I'm going to send you the text now.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead now.
Okay.
I just tried command. I did try the command things because somebody said to me, yeah, don't worry about your lathe and plaster. Just get the command things. But
Yes.
I got them for these very lightweight candle sconces that I put in the dining room. And so far, so good.
Yes. And they even have outdoor ones, which I think is awesome.
Ooh.
And I just was looking at them because I wanted to talk about them. I read a blog and I'll have to look it up. And she cut them because they were too long at the top and she painted them the color of her walls.
Oh,
And
sure, you could do
It
that.
really and hung curtains with them because that's what I wanted to see if you can hang curtains and they looked fabulous.
Well, one of my favorite things to do in a bathroom window is to use a cafe rod and use a tension rod. And then, you know, the nice thing is it gives you, usually that's enough privacy. And then I really hate
Right.
covering. I really don't want to, I want to be able to see out the window. So I don't want the window covered up. And that's something that I like to use. So the tension, and it's so easy that then you don't have to worry about, is this going to hold the weight? Because, you know, cafe curtain, usually
It's
pretty
light.
lightweight.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's something. And you could use a tension rod all the way at the top of the window. Again, if you're in an apartment or if you just don't want to be drilling,
You want an
any
easy
holes.
fix. That's right.
Easy fix. I think that's a
For
great
window
option.
treatment. And that's a great option too if you just need privacy, like in a bathroom, like you were
Right.
saying, that you can just quickly, you know, close those shut and you've got privacy, but then, you know, they're easy to open. There's you're not going to hurt your plaster or your wall or your drywall or any of your molding. So that's just a really nice, quick way to do that.
What about, have either of you used any of the peel and stick things just to make the window a little more opaque? If you wanted all the light in, but you wanted privacy?
Well, I have a story to tell. Yeah, no, but I have a little story. When I was a young girl, we lived in Scotland. And when my parents moved to England, I went to boarding school in Scotland. I didn't break up my semester. So it started at the semester. And I went to an all-girls private academy in Edinburgh, Scotland. And it was like this big castle. And it had like a big wall around it with a little door you had to go through. But the boarding school was dormitory style, but the bathroom was huge. Now, this was, decades ago. I'm not going to tell how many. And they didn't have these big, huge clawfoot tubs. And I hated taking a bath because it had like those frosted they almost looked like eyes, covering like something plastic or something covering a window that you would walk on the door that you would walk into to go to the bathroom. So I really tried to get out of taking a bath all the time because of that.
Could they see through? So you could see, but just not see very well? Could. Is that what it was?
I thought you could because it had definitely some kind of a paper or something over it that was frosted. And when my mother picked me up at the airport in London, she said, instead of this beautiful uniform that I had with a blazer and a tie and a hat and the whole 9 yards, I came in this ratty coat, and she said it looked like I hadn't washed my hair the whole semester. So I have a little bit of a thing about those frosted windows.
I see. I'm not the only one with a trust issue.
Yeah, well,
we're just delving deeper and deeper here.
Yeah, I think that
we're going to move into a therapy
beautiful
here.
But yeah, I'd prefer not to do that.
So
yeah,
Kelly,
I'm not sure about the peely stuff. I've never used that either. I mean, I did have wavy glass in my door in my last house, and it obscured people. But if you were standing, if you were just out of the bathtub and standing at the front door, people could clearly see. So I think, as far as easy fix window treatments, here's the easiest one. Think about going bare. I mean, if you're not taking a bath in that room, and if you don't have your neighbors that are looking right in.
Remember, I took the curtain off of the window at the farm because it's on acreage. There's no way you can see it. First off, it's up high at the top of the hill. And secondly, to see in there, you have to be on our property. And so I figure at night, but I got in trouble for taking that curtain down. I didn't see what the big deal was.
Mr. Kevin doesn't like that.
He did not like that. But I'm thinking, what, the coyotes, or you don't want them to see you? I don't know.
Here's the thing. It's just because there's a window doesn't mean you have to cover it. But maybe you do have to cover it. So you have to take a look at your own window situation.
To be honest
assess
with you,
your own trust issues and your own, bearing your soul and et cetera.
And your bottom. That's right.
Exactly.
But here's the thing.
Exterior.
Once you have a house built and you have beautiful trim put on your windows, or perhaps you buy an old house that has gorgeous trims, I really think twice about covering that up. So to be honest with you, I fought putting anything on the windows in the current house for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm in the midst of, I've done some, and what I've done, I really, really love, but I'm working my way through it. It's also, if you do it in a more formal room, window covers can be very expensive. So it might be something that you're pacing yourself. So maybe you want to have those custom drapes and you want to have the woven shades and all of those things. But right now the budget doesn't allow it. So maybe some of the ideas that we're throwing out today might be something that you don't have for the long term, but you have for the short term until either you get those measurements right and you find what you want, or, you save up enough. Like right now we did the living room, but we didn't do the dining room. So I have it just open in the dining room and I'm trying to figure out what to do there.
And if, here's my philosophy. If you cannot afford both, like beautiful blinds or rattan shades or something like that, and curtains, go with the custom blinds, because there are so many gorgeous curtains out there that are so reasonable, or there's so much great fabric that you could, gone are the days of the tassels and the fringe and you're just dripping with fabric on your curtains. On your windows. Curtains are simpler now. So that's where I'd put my money if I had to.
I agree. Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
Let me just bring up one other thing. IKEA has such a wonderful rod that is so inexpensive. I think the smallest size, the 28 to whatever, is like $1.99.
Oh my goodness.
It's a thin rod, but it's very beautifully made. It's very stylish. And I think it's like a black color, but they have them all the way up to 132 inches.
Oh, wow.
And they're just dirt cheap. And they
now,
really
how do those
look nice.
Do those attach? Do they have to be drilled in? You have to drill them in?
Yes. But
Okay.
I'm just saying, if money's an object, and you just don't want to spend a lot of money in a room,
Right.
They're really nice.
Yeah,
Well,
because
and-
rods can be expensive. So
Rods
that's a good
are
tip.
very
We'll put that in the
expensive.
show notes. We'll pull that up.
What about, have you heard of a compression system shades?
No, what are those?
Well, those are shades that are basically on a tension rod inside your window.
Oh.
On
so
a
that's something-
tension rod.
So I don't know that they're, well, so I think it's like a tension rod. So I think it's right.
You
It's got the-
squeeze them in a little bit.
yes. Yeah.
So you have to have a little room in the
I think they're not
interior
necessarily
frame.
inexpensive, but easy. So because you
And you
Okay.
could take them with you if you had
You
standard
could.
size windows. You could
Right.
take them to the next spot if you were a renter or you were thinking, this
right
is
now
not
I
my
haven't
forever
tried
house.
them, but I saw them. So
Well,
yeah,
you
and
know,
we'll put a link to them in the show notes.
I have I've gone to I've went to Lowe's. It wasn't at Home Depot. I think they may have them at Home Depot. Those beautiful rattan blinds that you can just you can custom cut them to the size you want.
Oh, nice.
And they are quite inexpensive. And I think we got them on sale. And that's what we have in our downstairs because I don't need to block out light or privacy.
And are
You know,
they
it's
the
just
natural woven? Yvonne?
Yes, they're
Oh, how nice.
beautiful. And then
that's
you can
Lowe's?
just measure your window and they give you instructions and you go and somebody will cut it the exact size you need. and it's far less expensive than custom.
Oh, wow. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And yet, when we're talking about easy fix window treatments, it might be easy. It also, we're trying to keep it on the less expensive end, but that doesn't mean cheap or bad design, right?
That's
And,
exactly
as Yvonne is
right.
saying,
I'm
you
glad
don't
you brought that
have
up.
to have that anymore. It isn't like you have these gorgeous opulent drapes that are puddling in the floor, or you have a sheet, stuck up. It used to be sort of like that. And I have seen so many bad window treatments in my day. You want to say to the person, it doesn't have to be like this.
Yes,
like
you don't have to live like that.
No, you don't. This is easy. This is easy. So, if you, if say you're at one of these shops like Home Goods or TJ Maxx, and you find 84-inch curtains that you love and the fabric is fabulous, but you need them to be longer. Well, how about adding a panel of a accent color or white linen or something that would look nice with the fabric? Burlap, something like that. If you need a longer one, so then add some fabric. If you need just a few inches, maybe you add a long trim, like the burlap fringe. I'm going to do that on a set of curtains that I got at a Pottery Barn outlet.
Well, here's another thing. I had gone to Walmart. They have sheer panels for $4.97 a panel. And I made curtains for my family room. And we have taller ceilings, so they were short. So I took burlap, a printed burlap, and gathered up the sheer panels and sewed it to the bottom of this burlap panel. It's in my family room, and I get asked about that all the time.
They're gorgeous. I've seen them on your blog.
So cheap, and I'll put those in the show notes. They took no time at all to do.
Wow.
And clipped them up, and they were very, very, very inexpensive.
Golly, that sounds wonderful. So here's another inexpensive thing, and it's kind of like the command strips, but have you heard of Twist and Shout custom rod hardware?
I just read about them.
Yeah, the Twist and Shout. So it's the rod that has the brackets attached to the rod.
Right.
And it all attaches to the wall without drilling. So again, I don't know how much that's going to hold, but it looks like a pretty cool system that would be inexpensive and no drilling.
I just read about them in cursory, like I just looked it over. Another thing you can do, and I found this at Home Depot because I just was Googling some different options for quick and easy window treatments, and especially renter friendly, is you can make a freestanding curtain rod that stands on the floor and has two vertical poles going up the outside or either side of the window and then going across. So it looks like a dress rack without anything on the bottom.
Is this hidden behind the curtain, or do you see these?
Put your curtain on it, and the ends are hidden. The end poles are hidden by your curtain.
Oh,
no, they're made like that?
You can make them. There's a DIY on Home Depot.
Well, I might as well just drill a hole in my wall.
But I mean, there's some people. What about? I mean, there's renters whose landlords may not let them do that. Now, don't use that if you have kids or little dogs or or somebody that would bump it over. But I thought, what an ingenious idea! If you can't drill a hole in the wall, because they'll just look like regular curtains.
I'm just picturing, hearkening back to when I was living in New York City. And so if you're a renter and if you're in a loft space or a small space, you could have that on casters too. And you could roll it in front of your window at night if you needed to. And then if you needed some division between your
rooms,
entertaining space and your bedroom, it's a room divider. I wonder if you could use a clothes rack. And you can buy those for
I don't know if but I don't. It would have to be so tall,
right? You'd have to be able to extend it really far
and
up.
Then I was thinking about that, and at the base because usually they have like a horizontal bar at the bottom, I would just put like stacked boxes or plants or something across that, to hide that.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that's I'll put that link in the show notes.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a cute idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about little tea towels as a cafe rod? I'm fine. Cafe curtain.
Yeah.
I'm finding it hard to find cafe-sized curtains, and maybe they're just not popular anymore. But I
have a feeling that's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I made mine. I had an old hand embroidered pillowcase that was really cute, but it was damaged. So I cut it, and it's so easy to sew a rod pocket. Yes. And you could even do that with some
heat and bond. Just use heat and bond. You don't have to sew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was so easy to do. I mean, it probably took me 10 minutes total, and then popped it on there.
Another option is to use Velcro, the adhesive kind. And that you can either put that on the top of your wall or on your woodwork.
Oh, not for the cafe curtains, but to hold them.
No, to hold
That's not a bad idea.
And then use the opposite side of the Velcro. Put that on your curtains, and then just Velcro them.
There you go. And then you could just pull them over to the side when you're.
Well, I just think they'd have to be stationary. Not for privacy. They would just definitely have to be to add interest and, prettiness to your room.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so maybe just on the sides of the windows, not actually covering the window. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay, I'm ready to tell you what I did.
Okay, you feel comfortable.
She's built up her courage.
Did you hear how low her voice got? This must be good.
Oh, yeah.
It's really not that good. It's sort of gross, actually. Okay, so I'm in law school, and my mom was helping me fix up my little apartment. I was sharing with another student who's my friend, and it was kind of like 2 stories, but that sounds really grandiose, and it was not at all. But our bedrooms were downstairs, so we kind of had those basement windows that are sort of above ground. So the window was a really weird shape and sort of rectangle and squat and high.
And people walking on the street could see in?
Sort of, but we weren't right on the street.
They'd have to lay on the sidewalk.
They would have to lay on the sidewalk and then turn their head.
Well,
and turn their head.
I think I've seen that in New York City. So.
Yes, garden apartments.
So so definitely, yes, you could see some garden stuff, but you wanted something on there. So my mom came, and it was probably cheap, sheetrock, very thin. And so we tried to nail it in. We didn't have screws or what have you. So we just had the nail, and the nail just kept sliding out, and one half of the curtain would fall out. One side was sticking just fine, and then the other half was sticking out. And so my mom left, and, thank you. And off she goes. And I'm going to sleep that night, and the thing falls off again. And there was some light from across the way, just one of these security lights or something blazing right in my eyes. So I said, what am I going to stick in there? I'm looking around. And so I had a pack of gum. So I chewed up a big wad of gum, and I stuck it in the hole, and then I stuck the nail back in. And I'll tell you, ladies, it held for 3 years.
Oh, really?
You made your own putty. That's what you did.
Ew.
No, not ew. You always say ew. No, I think that, give you props. That's pretty clever.
It was resourceful.
Yeah,
yes,
very resourceful.
I didn't have my decorating tips and tricks toolbox at that time.
You just MacGyvered that thing.
Okay, that's our new word. You MacGyvered it.
That's so funny.
DIY MacGyvered it. That's so cute. I have another idea for curtain. Like if you've got something that's curtains that are just too long, don't if you don't have a sewing machine, because I know a lot of people, most of my friends don't have a sewing machine.
I know.
Well, you have one to give away.
Bores me. Well, I'm giving that. I'm bringing that. I'm going to give that the next time I see Anita.
Yes, I have dibs on that.
Mm-hmm. But like my daughter doesn't have one, and all of her friends, they don't have them.
Well, I know.
It
makes me sad though, because it's something. If you are on a budget and you know how to sew, you can save so much money and have so many custom made things, and you would be amazed how easy it is to do most of the work.
Buy an inexpensive sewing machine. You don't need a big fancy one.
Yes, exactly. And because most of sewing, home sewing, is just straight stitches.
That's exactly
and it's not hard or complicated.
And it's so sad because my daughter really was a beautiful seamstress. She could sew, but she's so busy with her work and babies and all that. Right now. But just use that heat and bond. I love that tape. I've made pillows with it. I've hemmed curtains with it. I've held trim with it. I mean, if you have an iron and a roll of black and white, you can do anything.
Oh, wow.
You just have to make sure you measure twice and cut once. Once you cut it, you're sort of stuck.
Yes, you are.
Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quinn's. I love every item Quinn's offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quinn's. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quinn's offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order.
Also, what I'm doing right now.
That's a lot of tips.
Well, I have one more real quick one.
Oh, no, you don't have to rush. I'm just going, I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, these show notes are going to be super long. Like,
next week on my blog, I'm making curtains out of drop cloths.
Oh,
the ones you
bleach?
bleach?
See
I
that.
bleached these drop cloths. I love the color. They're like a bone. And if you leave them longer, you can almost get them white, but I didn't want them white. But I like the hand of it. The fabric feels amazing. Did it
soften the fabric?
It softened it, made it a little nubbier.
Because that can really be stiff.
No,
and heavy.
It's very heavy. I have to say that, but I sort of love that heavy look. And I'm thinking about, I'm getting some blocks. They're really like a block print of a sort of a paisley. And I'm thinking about going down the inner sides in a line with this paisley. It's going to be a stamp, but I'm going to start out just putting them up because I think they have an expensive look, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, and wow. If you want a linen look, I think the closest you can get going super cheap is to get the drop cloth.
Oh,
and drop cloth is cheaper than going and buying that same fabric at the fabric store.
Oh,
it is
so much
super
cheaper.
duper cheap.
And they come in very long lengths. That's what's so wonderful about them.
They do. I just had them. I made the curtains for the porch. I wish I had known about the bleaching. But maybe when I take them off to clean them, I'll do that. But they were not very wide. They were, the ones I had were 4 feet wide, but they were super long. So it was perfect for my purposes. Here's one little tip about fabric. So we're saying, go to the fabric store. I'm very hesitant about signing up for things or giving my email or getting an app or something like that. But I did sign up for the Joann's texting.
Oh, yeah, you
thing.
need those.
Do you guys have that?
The Joanne, I have the Joanne app. Is that what you mean?
Well, do they? I
She gets
signed
those
up for the
discount
text,
coupons.
Oh,
and
yes.
they really
Yes.
don't spam you. You get maybe one every 10 days or once a week. And at first I was like, oh, okay, I don't like. But then I started like, that's pretty great. So I was at Joann's the other day and I bought 8 yards of white, very nice white linen. And I was able to use a 60% off coupon that had come in the text. It was crazy good. You might want to think about that.
And you just show it to them, and you
just show it to them
and on your phone, and they scan it. Yeah,
the girls are so savvy, and they'll say, "Oh, you can use the 20% off too." So I ended up doing that on another item. So it was like, honestly, Joann's like gave me my fabric and then like gave me $5. You know,
now that's a deal.
Yeah, no. So that's I'm not one for saying, oh, yeah, sign up for all those things. You get all that junk. But that one, if you are a sewer or you need some fabrics for whatever purpose, well worth it.
Oh, that is such a good tip. But ladies, I think our time has run out. And boy, is this packed with wonderful tips today for people who need any kind of window treatment, really.
Yeah. And don't forget about chat books. Check them out.
Oh, yeah, definitely check chat book. You will love it. I'm like a little addicted to it, I must say. Yes. And the price is so reasonable. Remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey there. If you're loving our podcast like we're loving our podcast, we would love you to rate and review us. Head to iTunes to do that. It's easy and it would mean so much to us.